Welcome back to the Ask Mr. Greenthumb and Real Estate Show. Connect online at AskMrGreenthumb.com. Got questions about gardening, real estate, or both? Give him a call at 727-254-7127. That's 727-254-7127. And now your hosts, Stan and James DeFreitas.
And I am Stan DeFreitas, and you are James DeFreitas.
And I am James DeFreitas, and we always appreciate everybody who takes the time to listen to us every Saturday evening at 8 p.m. or every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Or if you catch us on YouTube, we might mention that if you go to Stan's Facebook page, it's Stan DeFreitas, you can type that into the search string and you can get to that and see whatever we've uploaded and whatever has made it on there, given whatever technological hurdles we may have had in that process. And you can also go to YouTube and you can type in Ask Mr. Greenthumb and we will pop up there as well. And so, and again, bear with us on the technical hurdles. We do our best, and sometimes it can be challenging on both ends. One of the things that we might mention too is we encourage people to increase their biophilia. And how do you do that? Well, it means that you can increase your overall love of nature, and by one of the ways that you can do that is to hop on to plantz.com and buy mom a plant from Plants. And one of the, because my thing is you can buy that the gift card, you can buy this or that or what have you, but why not give the gift of something beautiful that you can look at from day after day, month after month, and it's just a wonderful thing that will increase your biophilia. And of course, if you're in the hotel space or if you're, want an event like a wedding or something like that, you can go to plantz.us. And be sure, either way, that you tell Steve Stanford that James and Stan DeFreitas sent you.
I agree, 1,000%, that biophilia, that innate want of being near living creatures, and plants, of course, are living creatures. But and if you have an office, you have a building, you've got, let's say, I don't care, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, you probably want some plants in there to make it a little bit more restful. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't have that, then you get kind of a sterile environment that, isn't as attracting.
Right.
So if you want people to come spend money in your place, get the green in the corner, and maybe they'll put green on your counter.
Right. And, and then again, the other thing I would say there too is, when people see greenery in an office, the productivity goes up. So it's not just about, the amount of money that's coming in, but it's also the amount of work that you get out of your the employees that are coming into work. For those of you that are, allowing your employees to go back to work in a normal fashion, I will say too, a lot of businesses are still, trying to figure out what to do with all of this office space that's, not being 100% occupied. You still have a lot of, one of the things that happened because of the pandemic is you had a lot of people that got used to working from home. Mm-hmm. And then you have these large companies out there. One of them, of course, being Tesla, was like, hey, you can continue to work from home indefinitely. But if you don't come into the office on Monday, you won't have a job.
So I'd get there on Monday.
Yeah. So the problem he had, though, is he says this, but he didn't check the parking lot out there to make sure that he could have, there wasn't enough parking. Huh. And so you had people parking just anywhere and everywhere to be to work on Monday to try to comply with boss's request. And, they couldn't park anywhere near the office to get there to try to comply. And then once they got inside, they realized they didn't have enough desks and office space for everybody who was trying to comply.
Maybe you should put that into a computer and try to figure out how to make that work better.
Right. So you would have thought that, engineer brain might have engineered that potentiality that, but again, it's hard for us to think about how large of an outfit that is. We tend to think of small businesses. We think of, 30, 40, 50 people, and we don't think of thousands of people having to come into a building. It boggles the mind on its complexity. So
amazing. Well, there are, thousands and thousands of people. I mentioned this earlier. This is sometimes called Mexican mint, sometimes called Cuban oregano, can be used as a substitute for oregano. I thought it's an interesting plant that it is pretty tough. It'll grow in many areas. It'll take over. It's called Plectanthrus is the Latin name for it.
Plectanthrus?
Plectanthrus. And it's this one's got a little variegation to it. Some of them don't, but it's an interesting plant. It's in the mint family, which makes it second to basil and other mints, spearmints, and all of that. Basil. Also a healthy plant people should be using more of. But I just thought it was interesting, easy to root, easy to grow, and so you might consider it as a plant to have around your home as a ground cover even.
Yeah, I like it. I like the variegated pieces on the end there. It's very nice.
I think it's
and it looks fuzzy.
It is kind of fuzzy.
It's fuzzy. I would call that a fuzzy wuzzy plant.
A fuzzy wuzzy. Well, that's the technical term.
That's the technical term, of course.
But so yeah, I think it's good to have different kinds of plants. And I'm always my problem is I probably have my yard just every foot of it with something growing.
Well, if that's the case, then your name would be Chris Kent, and you'd have a jungle growing there in Safety Harbor.
But does he know what he's growing, and does he have
Doesn't matter. It just, he's going for that South American Amazonian look.
Well, it may be Patty more than him, but...
Well, every time I go up that street, I'm waiting for, to hear some kind of jungle noise, like a lion roar or something, or a panther to jump out at me, because it is so jungly. But again, it's a good point that... the neighbor across the way may have everything prim and proper, and that may be perfect for that neighbor. But again, because life is the spice of life, and we do have so many people with varied opinions, it doesn't make either one of them wrong. It just makes them different, and it's okay to be different.
Sure.
And, and I would also say, too, we've never been in a time in this country where we've had this kind of political heat against one another. And the thing is I see good people on both sides of the equation. And we need to remember that just because we don't see eye to eye on politics, we're still good people. And it doesn't mean we have to hate each other.
I mean, one of my friends today I talked to, and he's very vehement about his position. And, if I don't agree with his position on everything, it's like he's going to get louder and start using profanity.
Right.
Which to me makes you look stupid when you have to go that route. But it's like, I'm going to intimidate you by being loud. I thought, intimidate me. I mean,
well, it's a tactic that's been used for a long time, and both sides use it, by the way.
And then I don't want to talk to anybody about it.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is it's not very engaging in the conversation, and and it doesn't. We have lots of different viewpoints, and it's okay. And one of the things that I think we've lost sight of is that it's okay to not agree.
Sure.
And we don't have to convince people. I mean, I live with my wife, and we do not see eye to eye on politics. And that's okay. And, and one of the things that we've had to say multiple times to one another is that it's okay, that our relationship is loving enough and meaningful enough that it's stronger than our political differences. And I challenge everyone out there to safeguard their relationships more than they care about their political positions.
Rise above it.
And
I agree. I think if you can and you should, that's the salvation for this country.
But not enough of that's being pitched by the right people for that to matter enough. And I think we're going to have to change that.
Well, maybe our conversation today will spark it.
The mighty AM 860 will change it all.
Hey, one person at a time. And that's the reason we're here. Your plants, trees, real estate, we're here to help you right here on AM 860, The Answer.
Want to talk real estate? Call James DeFreitas at 727-254-7127 or go online, aflre.com.